Okay, for you, those of you who don't think losing that port and why they might not, or whatever's going on here as a transactional thing with that port in Syria for them, unless they have a contingent on the coast there in Africa ready to go to something that everybody seems to not know about. So if they ain't talking about it yet, I'm assuming there's no immediate infrastructure that could be put in place for anything practical, large or moderate, for that matter. Otherwise, it'd be utilizing it right now. Russia would be, or they could, and that'd be talked about. So they're telling them they got to kick out of the Mediterranean, right? Okay, Syria here. I'm sorry for this. I'll make it quick though. Syria, Mediterranean. Otherwise, they got to go all the way back up here, right? Not a big deal. They got up here, right? This is up here right now. What's going on?
Wait, you don't live here. We don't even see you.
Murmansk.
I live in this house. You don't live here. What do you mean, not here? I'm saying these people are spying on us now. I just noticed. We're not spying. Don't say that. Oh, for God's sakes, let them spy. At least I'll get a chance to tell them something. No, that's not what I'm saying then. So these houses were supposed to come down by a specific date? The federal program's over. Well, tell me about it. It was going on for 5 years, this federal program. The program ended in 2017, and the demolition of wooden houses ended then too. So there shouldn't be any more of these wooden houses. Your 27th house shouldn't be here now. But it's still standing. How long do you think it's going to be standing? Well, I'm hoping I'll live long enough to see it demolished. But it's all the slum dwelling getting demolished, right? Yeah. And it's being replaced with new houses? Well, I reckon they'll last another 15, 20 years for sure. I think so. How old is your house? Number 27? This house is from 1948. My husband's from 1948, and so is this house. Is it a good thing that they're tearing down all these houses? I don't know. I lived in one back when I was 4.
It's Murmansk.
Are
It's
the new
a port.
houses good? The colored ones? No, of course not.
They still got
Why
fishing,
not?
right?
I can't even tell you. Why not? Tell me. Really? It's because they're falling apart. They're not even built on foundations that are settled. You know, I'm a builder from the future. Sorry, I mean in the past. The foundations don't settle, but they still build on them, and then they decay. Then they crack, and everything comes off. You know, people are driving Jeeps and living in these wooden houses. I'm thinking, why? It is very difficult to walk here because there's ice
I mean,
everywhere.
that's
And
freaking
everything
normal if you're from Wisconsin. You can find that in here. But watch this. He had a conversation with a guy on the port, and the port situation, for those of you who think they got a good fishing, strong one right now.
We tried to grow something here last year, but they threw away dozens of tons. The border with which is only a few hundred miles away. So why is there no fish? Well, fresh salmon. From Norway. We have sanctions on salmon. What kind of fish? We tried to grow something here last year, but they threw away dozens of tons. Something didn't work. There was some kind of disease or something like that.
This is their alternative.
So it turns out that Russian fishermen catch fish in Norway, right? Well, the seas have this thing. I get you. They catch fish and give it to the Norwegians. Yeah, and they come here empty? They don't come here just because they don't go to this port as a rule. They don't come here because they're not cleared. There are practically no Russian steamships here now. There are very few of them left. Now all the steamships are foreign. So everyone just works for Norway? That's why everybody works for Norway, including Norwegian supply, water, spare parts. Everything is from there with few exceptions. And they create the most favorable conditions for fishermen there. As much as possible anyway. You know, recently, our steamship went to Murmansk. We were driven to Murmansk at the end. Again, it was just absurd. Which one more time proves that everything isn't right here. Just think about it. A steamship goes to port and nobody's happy. Nobody from the first sailor to the captain. Nobody's rejoicing because that steamship, after its whole voyage, they're going home to her port, her home port of Murmansk. This is the oldest part of town, right? The oldest. Yeah, the oldest.
That's just how they feel, man.
The oldest district of the city. No, it's beautiful. I'm trying to find something good.
But this is what they
Somebody
don't
picked
have
up-
besides the Mediterranean. Don't get me wrong. Those of you know Russia is vast, but they got other things. But this is their most crucial port, and by Norway and all that. Look, this is what they have besides that Mediterranean to project power or do any kind of business, which was totally fucked up what they were doing. So you can't tell me it wasn't that important. So either this is part of a deal where they give up Donbass, they keep this, they make a deal with Jolani. Anybody's fucking guess. This could be him just not giving them a reason to stay by slaughtering all their people. uprising. You show that on Russian TV, they're not going to have a choice, just like I wouldn't. So it's not a good move. Smart if he didn't do it because of that. If he's doing it for a deal, I think he's crazy, because if they would have won, he'd be dead. So if you don't want to kill him, fine, let him go. But I think if Giuliani does accomplish what he sets out to do, I mean, he could prove history wrong on conquerors, because he could be the one to actually conquer and set people free besides America at first, until they didn't. They turned us into an industrial state under their guidelines and actions. So this is between the housing and that's why Putin did it. That's why think about the industries. Think.
Some unusual colors.
Everything he has, like, this is new to them. And I like it, whatever. Nothing wrong with it. I think it looks beautiful. But maybe that would have been a better choice. But I like it. It's not what I'm talking about. The majority of it's not like that. That's what was supposed to happen. So they fired them off, the missiles, to warn us after Tucker went over there and cried about it, to save them from relying on this. Or there's part of a strategy, and he was given information to give Russia, right, about an acceptable peace treaty. Let's think about how America would think, okay, we'll give you this for that. That's pretty much what it is. Trump even admitted he's transactional. He told NATO that, so I'm pretty sure he told them that. So let's assume that has something to do with this. Why project fear on America? Why project the fear that's not really real? This is the real fear. This is what Putin's scared of. And instead of just asking the world, I don't know if it's too dangerous now, we would have helped. Oh my God, there's such beautiful places in Russia. But this is what the people wanted, and this is what they got, And it's not just here. But this is the most, I couldn't pick the better part, because after they got kicked out of Syria, if that's what truly happened, this is it. And this is all over Russia. I mean, now think about it. Somebody released a letter the other day from Kursk talking about the rehousing, and the war probably stopped that. They don't know for how long. That was the basis of the letter. And this is the other end of Russia. The other part. Just everywhere it's like that. And they were supposed to do something about it. And he's scared. Ruble, rubble. War not going to plan. But those of you who don't know history, and since I know what I'm talking about, that non-thing could also be a temporary plan for overwhelming aggression to really scare America with a huge battle. I mean, he's like pulling people out of nightclubs right now. So you never know. They did that another time during the World War II. I don't even think they needed to then. People were just fucking lining up. But I know they were just fucking making people back then too, especially putting them on boats and just setting them across, rolling a rifle, one with some ammunition, and that's some legit shit. So this is what he's scared of, and how important that port was. So there's some fuckery going on. No matter what, they're in trouble, and he's not going to bomb the place. People wouldn't let him. There is an internal structure in Russia for that fact alone. People don't realize that they believe they have the right to the bomb to balance our power in the world. It's just how they believe. I mean, it's got to be part of the Asian culture. You could tell Putin, tell me you don't look like a white Chinese or a white Hmong. They're Caucasian, where the Caucasus Mountain, Europe meets Asia. My friend told me white Hmongs used to be, he's Hmong. He told me, I'm in Wisconsin, there's a lot of Hmongs. He told me that they used to be white. I didn't really understand it until I saw Putin. Maybe it was possible. I don't know. I thought it was him just trying to be white, but he didn't act